stick. Looks good. Roger. I've got a blowout. Vapor 3. Pitch your pitch to 0. Pitch is out. I can't hold down the 2. Direction out. Trip selected. Emergency. Flight com, I can't hold it. She's breaking up. She's breaking.
Steve Austin, astronaut. A man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. Steve Austin will be that man. Better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster.
Yes. I am that man. Better, stronger, faster. I almost went right by the show. Did you see that? Hey, I'll show you again. I was late, and then I almost went, because I'm now faster, I almost went right by the show. Whoa. There we go. That's right. The $6 million man. We can rebuild him. That's what they did to me. They made me better, faster, and stronger, and that's what we're going to do for you today at the Steve Squared Show. Welcome. We're going to make this show better than it's ever been. Faster. We're going to make it faster than it's ever been. We're going to get out of here in about 12 minutes. And stronger, because the show can always use strength and power. So welcome anyway. That, of course, was the intro to the great $6 million man vehicle that series ran back in, any guesses, 1973 to 1978. The $6 million man, of course, starring who? Anybody? Bueller? That's right, Lee Majors. Right? Wasn't Lee Majors? He was the Mac Daddy, Lee Majors. Is he still alive? I'm not sure. I hate saying that. I always feel bad, right? When there's a celebrity and you're like, are they still alive? So sad. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I hope everybody's doing well and blew in. I hope you blew in with me. That's the wind carried me in today, I'll tell you. Man, what a storm. We had a lot of wind, high gusts. It was kind of crazy, but it was luckily warm. So the warmth is what saves us, right? That, I'm telling you, it was about 59 degrees today, but it was the gusts and the rain, and it was on and off. Then it gets sunny. It was kind of crazy day for a Monday, right? Rainy days and Mondays always get me down, right, Karen Carpenter? They sure do. But I don't want to get you down. I want to get you up. We're here to lift you up, or I'm here, I should say. Funny man, Stevie K. Steve is indisposed, the other half of the Steve Squared Show. He is, I don't know where. I know, he's been a little peaked, a little, as they say, under the weather. So he will not be making an appearance tonight. Sometimes when we do the show from a remote location, he pops in, surprises us. There will be no surprises today. I picked to wear the visor instead of, I had the wool hat ready for you, but I was like trying to get into a visor mode, thinking of warmer times, better weather, better season, and we'll get there. We're going to get there. What do we have? One show left of the year, I think, right? That's it. Christmas Day. Next week, Monday. Did you finish all your shopping? Of course you didn't. Now, let's say I got this picture in the paper and I really loved it because I really feel it was the inner workings of how our minds work. Look, take a look, if you will, at this picture. And it says mental health. But if you look close, it shows different parts of the cranium, if you will, like to get scientific here, and it shows all the things that go through our heads in a day, an hour, a minute. For me, it's every second. And you see there, you have your burnout, you have, there's depression, there's anxiety, kids, family, work, all the stresses of life, exercise, health, doctor appointment, like all of this stuff, traffic. One thing they did leave out, and I noticed that they did leave out of this cluttered mind that we all have, there is no panic! Panic, for God's sake, because that's what you all are, right? There's 7 days to Christmas. What do they have? Hobbies. They have hobbies, and I guess your brain sometimes, that goes, what is always on your mind? And speaking of which, the transitions I make are second to none. I say, what is always on your mind? And I say that with a purpose, and I will hold off. That's a clue. I'm throwing a clue out there. I'm throwing a fishing line, and let's see who catches it. Let's see who takes the bait, if you will. Because, let's see, what's going on here? Oh, I know what's happening. I was looking for my blurps, and you know me.
That was easy.
That was an easy one.
That was easy.
Oh, you better believe it. So, panic, because we have 7 days left until Christmas, and of course, why do holidays have to be so stressful, right? They're supposed to be only for children. And kids have their own stress. Is Santa coming? Was I good this year? Was I all I can be? Probably not. If, you know, we have a large children base that watch the Steve Squared Show. Big fans of the children. They enjoy the Steve Squared Show. Especially Steve. They love Steve. He's like a giant clown. He's like a giant Smurf. He's a, you know, what? Not a beanie bit. What do they love now? What is the character that kids love now? I don't know. It really isn't. But that used to be Teletubbies, and then there was that Barney idiot. There's always somebody. I don't think there is anybody now. But anyway, kids have their own worries, right? They're worried if Santa is going to come and visit their house. I got to put cookies out. Do people still put cookies out for Santa? Because, you know, it's a healthier world. Maybe we don't do cookies and milk anymore. Maybe we do, what do you think we do? Maybe some kind of, maybe a little something healthy. Maybe a little light biscotti with almond milk. Might be nice for Santa to stay lean and trim on his journey around the world, around the globe. Something like that. Maybe some sugar-free, you know, something like that. Maybe a sugar-free scone, maybe. Nice raisin scone. Little almond flour, little coconut shred on top. Nice, you know what? Nice glass of coconut water to hydrate, packed with electrolytes, get Santa and the reindeer flying high. And of course, if I was still leaving things for Santa, and I do, by the way, I would leave, of course. I mean, how is Santa going to stay awake all night without a Celsius? I can't. That would be a great commercial. I should write commercials. Santa, right, just like me, dozing off behind the wheel. He takes a Celsius. Kids, he saves Christmas. Celsius saves Christmas. It writes itself, for God's sake. Do I have to do everything? Do I have to do a show and write all of the campaigns for commercial ads for all of these stupid products? I'm just one person. Sometimes I don't think that's enough. It'll have to be for tonight. So, what is predominantly cluttering your mind? Is it bills? Bills are always in there. Maybe a career change. You're tired of your job. You would just love to go into your boss and tell him what time of day it is. Right? Wouldn't you just love to? Just go in there. That's it. Right over the table. Anyway. It says here, what companies are offering more mental health options, blah, blah, blah. None of these things help. You're not going to stop somebody from having all these worries and their concerns. This person has anxiety. They have worried about exercise. I'm worried that I'm going to put on a terrific show. That's right there in the front of my globe. It's right there, right under the old dome. Right? I was thinking about that today. What do I want to bring? I want to bring something edgy, something fresh, something thought-provoking. I'll give you something thought-provoking. Here's a great book. This is one of my favorite. You know, I always like to share books I'm reading. This is not really a book you read. It's more a book you can go anywhere in the book. It's a book of unusual knowledge. The Book of Unusual Knowledge. It's a great book. And it says a little quote on the back here, and I'll read it to you. There is no desire more natural than the desire for knowledge. And that is true. We all want to learn something. You know, we like to do trivia on the show all the time. That quote was by Michel de Montaigu. Or Michel de Montaigu. It's very French. I got to work on my French. So let's see some unusual knowledge. I'll read you a couple. You know, if you're this is a good time to maybe get a beverage. We don't have commercials here, so you can't really wait for a commercial. Let's see what we got. Let's look at a couple of classics. Well, this is interesting. There was supposed to be a scene in the original King Kong. The original, you remember, Fay Ray, King Kong. I don't know who played King Kong in the original. I don't know who was in that monkey suit. But it was 1933, and he was supposed to like pull off her dress or kind of take off her, and they took that out. They thought that was a little too much. That was cut, as they said, on the cutting. That ended up on the cutting room floor. The Wizard of Oz, which if you have a television, The Wizard of Oz has been all over your screen. I don't know why they feel it's a holiday classic movie. I guess they want to, the old favorites they want to show this time of year. It's that heartwarming family get-togethers. So The Wizard of Oz has been running on TNT, TBS. So let's give you a little Wizard of Oz, but this is not really, it's a little bit. Liza Minnelli, of course, the daughter of Judy Garland, the great Judy Garland, who played Dorothy Gale in The Wizard of Oz. My mom was watching The Wizard of Oz, and she was she really commented on the acting prowess of Toto. She thought Toto gave a great performance. Anyway, Liza Minnelli, the daughter of Judy Garland, married Jack Haley Jr., whose father played the Tin Man. Isn't that interesting? Now, it's interesting, but probably not so much because the odds were that's what she was hanging around with. What were her choices? You're either going to marry the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, or the Lion. So she married the Tin Man. Heartless, right? The Tin Man had no heart. But he gets a heart at the end, so, right? Heart equates with love. It makes sense. I like when things make sense. So Liza Minnelli married the son of the Tin Man. Fantastic. Jack Haley. Who would you have gone with? The Scarecrow, the Tin Man, or the Lion? Do you like someone with brains or without? Do you like a cowardly man or woman? Or someone without a heart? If I only had a heart. I like when he asks for a heart. I'm going to get a heart. Put him up. Put him up. And the Lion gets some courage, which we all need a dose of. And the Scarecrow gets some brains. So, that was interesting. Any other? Here's some stuff from TV shows. This is interesting. Did you know, before landing the role of Kramer, Michael Richards, who played Kramer on the Seinfeld show, auditioned to play Al Bundy on Married with Children? It's hard to think of anybody other, than Al Bundy, who is now, I can't think of that actor's name. How does that fail me? But I don't know if Michael Richards could have been that kind of dad, that disgruntled, grumpy dad. And actually, I was just watching this actor in a movie, Dutch, which was another crappy movie. Oh, this is interesting. The role of Monica on Friends. We all know Friends. My niece loves Friends. The role of Monica on Friends was offered to Janine Garofalo. I like Janine Garofalo. She's great. She turned it down. There's a mistake you'll live with and regret the rest of your life. And and guess who else tried out for the role of Monica on Friends? Leah Remini, the great former Scientologist and wife of Kevin James on The King of Queens. She was made for The King of Queens, and also ousted Tom Cruise and the rest of those fanatics for their Scientology nutsism. You know what they did to her?
Headshot. Headshot.
And that's what happened to Leah Remini. Let's see if there's anything else that was... Michael Keaton. I like Michael Keaton. I just saw him in an old movie. Remember Mr. Mom? It's a funny movie with Terry Garr. So Michael Keaton, and actually Larry Hankin was in, the great Larry Hankin, who interviewed on our show, was in Mr. Mom. Anyway, Michael Keaton began his career before being Batman, before being Mr. Mom, before all the great roles, Pacific Heights, eerily in that. He played Big Mac in McDonald's. He played Ray Kroc. He played great characters. Beetlejuice. He's wonderful. This guy is just loaded. I love Michael Keaton. It's just fantastic. He had it. We all have to get our start somewhere. He was a stagehand on the Mr. Rogers show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and he helped to puppeteer. So this book is great. It's got some great little tidbits. It's a big book. Fantastic. It's a great book. It's a great, say you're taking the train, you don't want to read something heavy, you're going to bed, you just want to learn a little tidbit or something. Anyway, I'll tell you what annoys me, and as I always do. I always share with you. This is great therapy for me, my audience, the squares, you people. This is why everybody should have a podcast show. It's a great cathartic expression to get all of your pain and anguish out. And I have a lot of anger. This is my anger management class. Mondays, 6:30 to 7:30. I thank Governors for sponsoring my mental health rehab. Anyway, the football scene in New York, abysmal. Embarrassing, a joke. The two teams combined are terrible. The New York Giants and the New York Jets, which they shouldn't even be called because they don't even play here. That's the start right off the bat. They play in New Jersey. So, fine. They call themselves the New York Giants, New York Jets. They're terrible. They're god-awful. They haven't won in years. So the Giants are shuffling, and as the Jets are, Aaron Rodgers, and the Jets, of course, every week, it's the backstory. Aaron Rodgers, we saw him tying his shoe. That could mean they just try their best to get people to continue to buy tickets to watch Drek, right? But it's not just football. Broadway's doing that. Every entertainment medium is fighting for your dollar, especially at holiday time, where they're trying to make their year ends. So whether it's sports franchises begging you, misleading you by telling you great players are on the horizon, they're right, they might play next week. I'm not promising, but if I was you, I'd buy some tickets. I don't know if this car is going to be here next week. I know you want to go home and think about it, but think about this. You're driving home now, going back in your car, it blows out, now you don't even have a trade-in. All because you had to go home and think about it. What's to think about? You love the car, right? Don't worry if the oil leaks. You'll take care of that. I know the house is dripping, the roof is... These are little incidentals. You just sign right here, And look, if you're unhappy, you can always cancel. That's my sales lesson of the day. Don't be sold. So the New York Giants, as the Jets are trying to sell their dreck, the Giants win a couple of games, pulling it out of their you-know-what. So this is what they pulled it out of. They get this guy, Tony DeVito, right? Very Italian. And New York loves Italian. We love Italiano. So they get this guy, and he wins a couple of games, and all of a sudden the papers, they go crazy, right? With the headlines. New York hero on a roll. Get it? They call him Tony Cutlets. Here you go. Family Guy trying to get, the mafioso thing going on. Good fella. So they all of these really obnoxious connotations. And the Italian community should be up in arms. But hey, it's one of their own. Hey, I'll give you one of these across the old head. I'll take you outside. Garbage! Anyway, so this numbnuts quarterback wins a couple of games, and then he brings it on himself, right? If you can see here, you see he's doing the hand thing. He's doing the, hey, paisano. He's doing the little Italian thing, right? So he was falling in love with his own press. And of course, in New York, the bar is set so low because the teams are so horrendous that a couple of wins and they're like, this guy is calling him a hero. But as all great things happen, what happens to a hero? They get soggy. The bread wilts, the sauce spills, and that beautiful hero that was laid upon you, right? Little meatball, little parmesan. It starts not looking good after a couple of days, right? We start noticing, oh, the meatballs don't look too good. That sauce ain't like my mama's. And that's what happened to my boy Tony DeVito. As you can see, he was devoured this weekend by the New Orleans Saints. And he's not doing a little bit of this. So they were doing that because they were giving the Tony Cutlets right back at him. And that's the sports right there. So I'm just saying we want so bad to sell you guys something. Sell you. Oh, it's the second. This guy's Joe Namath. He's all the greatest quarterbacks rolled up into a ragu sauce. But he ain't no panini. No siree. I had some minestrone soup last night. Speaking of food, I'm getting hungry now. Speaking about sports and food, but because it is dinner time, I hope you're not waiting till after the show to grab a little something. Have yourself grab a little something. Enjoy. Eat while you watch. Do you like to eat while you're watching television, or do you like to sit at the table and really digest and enjoy your food? I like to watch. I have to eat and watch. I know. Anyway, so that was my little rant, if you will. So last night, I think it was last night, I wasn't going to, I'm not a huge fan, but I guess looking into it, you got to respect the guy. And my mom said, you got to talk about this on your show. I'm not watching your show if you don't talk about Willie Nelson. I said, all right, fine. Talk a little of Willie. Now, of course, Willie Nelson, the renowned 60s, 70s, really known for the high life of, yeah, I wish I had a blurb for that. I don't really, do I? I guess not. That's really, actually Snoop performed, well, of course Snoop performed, the two of them enjoying the little bit of the coca leaf, but Willie, 90 years old, they have this big birthday salute to him, this whole extravaganza. Owen Wilson's there, Woody Harrelson, actors, all the Sheryl Crows of the world, all the country music stars are out singing with him, George Strait, all of them. They're all there, big headliners. Who else was there? Let me see who else was there. Yeah, Snoop Dogg, Gary Clark Jr. performed. He was pretty good. Norah Jones, Miranda Lambert, Dave Matthews. Beck. Oh, Keith Richards was there. He's another one that's probably approaching 90, if not there already. He didn't look good. But anyway, you don't realize all of the songs. Willie Nelson, over 300 songs. I thought it was way more, but big songs. You Were Always on My Mind, Whiskey River, Okie from Muskogee, On the Road Again, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be podcast show hosts. No, not pod. No, I'm sorry. Grow Up to Be Cowboys. Highwayman. Of course, Crazy by Patsy Cline. My mom loves that one. What was that other one? I think that For All the Girls I've Loved Before, Fernando Lamas sang that. Oh, the great Fernando Lamas. A great singer, but a better name. Fernando Lamas. He was the guy, you look so beautiful. Right? I think that was the guy, right? He would always say that. You look so beautiful. I tell you, I feel like when I got the ball in my hand, I'm passing a sausage Parmesan hero. I just connect with the Parmesan. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. That's what we need to do. We're so typecast. It's just such an easy step, like back page. Don't work a little bit, please. Put a little effort in. Stop with the Italian headlines. What are you doing? Stupid. Stupid. That's what it is. It's stunad. Anyway, so he had a lot of good songs. He did so many, so he looked great. I think he looked, and again, I like this time. We're really talking about a lot of these senior citizens, guys, older performers, celebrities, people. Norman Lear just passed away, 100 years old. Dick Van Dyke has a special this Thursday night. Dick Van Dyke. If you don't watch it, don't talk to me. It's Dick Van Dyke special. It's on CBS, I believe, Thursday night. And I forget who's hosting it, but he's going to dress like Dick Van Dyke in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That's Chitty Chitty. If my pronunciation fails me, I apologize. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I do not want to get a letter from the FCC. That's all I need. I get enough letters from the IRS. I don't need more from the FCC. I got plenty of lettered places and organizations sending me paraphernalia in the mail. So that was the show. But watch that Dick Van Dyke special. It should be pretty good. I'm going to check it out. Now Dick Van Dyke is like 98, I think. Betty White had passed away a couple of years ago. She made it to 99. I like that they're really talking about these iconic, celebrities, artists. Fantastic. And anybody. I love when at the Yankee games, when they salute a hero. It's a World War II veteran. He's like 120. He was in the Civil War, and he's throwing out the ball. Fantastic. It's great. So Willie Nelson, look at him. Look at this picture. He looks pretty good, right? Looks fantastic. He's always known for the, he's always got the ponytail. He's got those kind of, nice little ponytail. He was happy. Why not? He's got a lot of money. And I don't want to hear money doesn't buy you happiness. It does. Let's just put an end to that nonsense. Buys a lot of happiness, let me tell you. That's why these people are living to 100 years old. And money's rolling in. You don't want to kick the bucket before you're at least 98. You want those checks rolling in, baby. Oh yeah, you see? Look how fast they turn on you. I didn't even have this, but here's another one. DeVito magic runs out. As fast as they are to build you up, it's as fast as they are to cut you down. And that's what we do here. This I thought was a little interesting. They're saying more Long Island schools here's a two-parter. It's Long Island schools are doing an alternate to suspensions. what they're saying, and I want to get the quote for you because I thought this quote was fantastic. Here's a quote from one of the administrators. You struggle in geometry, we give you a tutor. You struggle in behavior, we throw you out of school. It doesn't make any sense. Makes a little sense. If you're disruptive, get out. If you need help in math, you're not going to kick somebody out of school if you need help in math. But if somebody's strangling somebody in study hall, you might want to ask him. Oh my gosh. So again, we're doing the soft love. When I went to school, there was no soft love. They didn't want to understand you. They didn't want to get to know the real Stevie K. Maybe I would have been better, faster, and stronger if a teacher would have taken the time when I was clowning around, I was always a clown. Instead of yelling at me, stop yelling. I'm expressing my inner creativity. I'm not disruptive. That's all. Understand me. Understand what's happening in that confused, where is it? Where's the confusion going? Understand, look what's going on in my head. Help me. So, anyway, they're trying alternative methods to disruptive, bad behavior. Not just throwing kids out of school. They're going to set up, programs to help kids not be so disruptive. I guess it's a good thing. We have to evolve. You want better. So they're trying to be better. But I guess like all things, your rehabilitation depends on the crime. How severe was the crime? Are you going to try to understand somebody that cold clocks a guy in the locker room, in the boys' locker room? Or, tax a teacher? You want to understand? I guess, there's always a problem, an underlying problem somewhere, right? It's always there. It's always hidden. Just dying to get out. So they're trying alternate to suspensions. Let's see what the new approach is. They want to help children grow from their past mistakes. Repair harm and restore relationships. That's the motto. They want to repair harm and restore relationships. No harm, no foul. Okay, I'm in. You know what? I'm not going to be such a jerk. I'm always very pessimistic. My glass is 3/4 empty. I'll give. Enjoy. Let's see what happens when little Bobby is disruptive and he's strangling his second grade teacher. Let's see why little Bobby needed to do that. What's wrong, Bobby? Is everything okay at home? Okay. Probably. Who knows? You know him, you love him, and did you get my connection before I move on at 7:04? Did you get it? Did you get it? Remember what I said? Where is it? I said, this is what's always on your mind. These are the things always on your mind. And I transitioned, and why did I do that? Because I transitioned into Willie Nelson. You were always on my mind. So there was the connection. I laid it there for you, and nobody got it. Nobody contacted me. Nobody messaged me. You people are asleep today. Wake up. Let's go. 7 days till Christmas. I can't go to Marshall's. I went to TJ Maxx. Wasn't thrilled. Got a couple of things, but I don't know. You could still order, but it's getting close. I would put your orders in today, tomorrow, the latest, because you're gonna start getting those. It might arrive on Christmas Eve, and then all you need is one thing to happen, and now little Timmy's not getting the big wheel, and he's gonna hate you forever. It's just, you can't fail on Christmas, I'm telling you. You have to deliver. Does it matter? You gotta deliver. You don't want that face when you come down the stairs, creeping down the stairs to see if Santa came. And so let's see what we'll you know. You still got time. Don't panic. Like I said, the choices, you start being less selective, right? Don't you hate those people that are like, oh, I'm done. I finished a month ago. It's all wrapped and under my tree. Oh, I started early. Good for you. I gotta work. I got a life. I didn't start Christmas shopping in June. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I had to wait until Christmas to shop for Christmas. So, what do I need to do? I still got some things to get, but I feel like as you get closer, you start being less discriminate, right? You starting to say, you know, that gift, that glass frog, that linoleum frog ashtray does not look too bad. A couple weeks ago, no way. That's stupid. Now you're like, maybe they could put it on their dresser. Might look nice. Right? Who doesn't love frogs? And it's used as an ashtray. You know, maybe you could start smoking. Maybe one day you'll wake up, you'll want to smoke. You won't have an ashtray. This is a linoleum frog ashtray. I'm sure you'll love it. Enjoy that. Right? The gifts start getting a little odd at the end. Panic sets in, and you buy any crap. I'm telling you, it's what I do. I like to be choosy. I like to put thought behind the gifts, but that thought starts to fade when it gets December 21, 22, 23. You're just grabbing anything then. T-shirts, dice, you don't care. You just don't care anymore. You're just freaking out. Anyway, get your shopping done early. So the $6 million man, let me get into that a little bit. So why I played, and we were talking a little $6 million man, like all things, that was a great show with Lee Majors, as we said. They had a spin-off, The Bionic Woman. Do you remember who played The Bionic Woman? Anybody? Lindsay Wagner. The great Lindsay Wagner. So Lee Majors plays Steve Austin, Colonel Steve Austin, the Bionic Man. A NASA test pilot crashes. They have to rebuild him. They use bionic technology, which this was pretty forward-thinking in the 70s. And they make a show, hit show. And the merchandise was phenomenal. I hope Lee Majors got a good deal, because that was a tremendous amount of merchandise came out of that show. Action figures, all of it, right? So now, Marky Mark, Mr. Mark Wahlberg, has been trying to get a new and improved Bionic Man going. Only, like all things, prices go up, right? You saw I brought in retro papers. You're not getting a can of peas for 12 cents anymore. You're not buying a pair of Levi's for $1.95. Things go up. So does the Bionic Man. He's not the $6 million man anymore. Millions of dollars, come on. That technology, that's not going to cost you millions. It's billions now. So Mark Wahlberg is trying to make this movie the $6 billion man. And he wants to play, of course, the role. Now, he's in great shape. We've talked about this. I thought it should be a series. Now, do you know he's been trying to develop this since 2014, 15, 16, 17? It's been stuck in development hell, and I can understand that. As you know, Dumbbells has been stuck in development hell as well. So, everything gets stuck somewhere. But I can understand mine being stuck. I can't understand a guy like Mark Wahlberg having anything stuck in development. But it happens to the best of us. And even Tony Cutlets. So, what happened, it looks like they now have been greenlit. The movie is now going to get made. The $6 billion man. Let's see. I think it's a great idea. I think it's great. I think that's something really cool. I still think it should be a series. A movie, things are series now. We love series, right? We all love to be locked into series. But, alright, we'll see. Nobody takes my advice. No, they didn't call me. Marky Mark didn't call me. My phone didn't ring. What are you going to do? Anyway. Whiskey River, Mama. Yeah, Willie Nelson. Go listen to a Willie Nelson song. You know, and you'll be surprised because a lot of other artists sang his songs, right, and made them famous. He wrote for other artists, you know. So Fernando Lamas doesn't get any bigger than Fernando Lamas. I mean, I wish I had a Fernando Lamas drop. Do I? Let me see. Do I have a Fernando Lamas drop? Oh.
Yes!
So, anyway, poor Fernando. Do all the girls before. See what else we got here. This was a story I also enjoyed. They were talking about... Let me see if I can share this a little bit with you. Oh, before I get to this, so Godzilla comes out. The new Godzilla movie's out. Let me share a little. It's Godzilla -1. I don't know why it's called Godzilla -1. This movie is in subtitles, just to give you a little heads up. It's not in English. It's all in subtitles, so if you enjoy going to the theater and reading the screen, do it. It's completely made in Japan, Japanese film. Got scored really high, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's really, I'll just say this, if you know Japanese cinema, it's very authentic to Japanese cinema. Meaning they really, the way they make Japanese movie making is you could tell the style, and it's very dramatic at certain points. This is, you know, movie style. If you ever watch Japanese films, I like to watch all different types of films. So, and I'm a big Godzilla fan. I've always loved Godzilla, except for the Matthew Broderick vehicle in 1998, 99. That was a terrible movie. Just god-awful. But maybe this one's better. You know, it's... I think so. You know, it's up to you. I loved the Son of Godzilla, Godzilla versus King Kong. I thought they always duked it out. And there was a Godzilla movie just recently, Godzilla versus King Kong. I think they try to make I liked when they made Godzilla more friendly. That was back in the day when I was a kid. They kind of, you know, yeah, I understand. He steps on Tokyo and crushes all the people. But there was a kinder, gentler side to Godzilla that was misunderstood. See, same thing. Learn from your misbehavior. If Godzilla would have been talked to, if he had some therapy, maybe he wouldn't have had to crush everybody in Tokyo. Maybe he could have been a better monster, a better dinosaur, or whatever he was. T-Rex. So anyway, Godzilla is actually the highest grossing North American Japanese film. So it's doing pretty well. Now Wonka, this Wonka nonsense, I don't know, not a big Timothy Chalamet. First of all, I don't like somebody's name that doesn't sound right. Timothy. And it's spelled with Chalamet. It's this whole flurry-dory name that bothers me. I like when the names were names. Steve Austin. Right? Dirk Diggler. I like those kind of names. Timothy, and it's the way it's spelled with all the E's and the Mathies and the Chalamet. It's too flurry-dory for me. All right? That bothers me right off the bat. Tony Cutlets. I like that. Tony DeVito. Bang! Right across the face. I don't like long, too many consonants and letters in a name. But to me, it's a vehicle for him. And that's what movies are now. Right? Let's put Timothy Chalamet in a remake. Barbie was a thing for Margot Robbie, and for the other idiot played, whatever is the, what's his mug, that played Ken. That's sometimes movies. The Johnny Depp movie, Willy Wonka, that was earlier. He did the second one. Gene Wilder, the 1971 classic, adopted from Roald Dahl's great book. It was just a great story, and it was Gene Wilder. He was the lead but he wasn't the whole story. And I think now we like to let's just have Timothy Chalamet dance and sing all over the screen so we can see how wonderful he is. Let's have a movie with Joaquin Phoenix so we could just see him in Napoleon. We don't really care about Napoleon. We just want to see Joaquin Phoenix act for 2.5 hours. Or be the Joker for 3.5 hours. Be Johnny Cash. Stop. That's the problem with movie making. We're too worried about, that's how we're selling the movie. Joaquin Phoenix, Margot Robbie, Scarlett Johansson, Timothy Chalamet. That's how we're selling it. But we're not making good content. We're not making good material. And if this isn't easy, you're going to just do Wonka. Now it's a prequel. It's when he was... Come on. I don't care what he did before he was making chocolate bars. What was he making? Tootsie Rolls? Is that the story? Come on. It's stupid. Young Wonka. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I can't. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's so upsetting. I will not go see that movie. And here's other people that are getting upset. They're talking a lot about concerts and ticket prices. You see this? Hitting the wrong notes. People are very upset. They're outraged at the ticket prices they're paying to see their favorite artists. Taylor Swift, prime example. Billy Joel, Pink, Gaga, Madonna did her stupid show the other day at the Barclays, and people are paying $300, $400, $500 if they're lucky. And the kids are screaming, "I want to see Taylor Swift!" And right now the poor parents have to go out and get a third home equity loan on their house so they could go see Taylor Swift. It's ridiculous, and prices are jacked up for many reasons. They're still blaming the pandemic. That's baloney. Prices were skyrocketing. They're saying, well, the artists didn't make during the pandemic because there were no concerts, so they're charging more fees. They're charging the house more, so the house has to charge. That's baloney. Ticket prices have been through the roof, and this has been going on because they're using third ticket markets, right? Those third ticket purchase markets, and they're driving ticket prices up because all of the regular face value tickets are purchased right away. Right, using some bot programs, easy, you can do it, buy up the whole scoop of tickets, and resell them. Third-party ticket market. Go get them, StubHub. Go get them, cheaptickets.com. They ain't so cheap. So, this is, so this is a great article. I'm glad it got some, it's not going to do anything, but it got a little play there. So, and then other things that are bothering concert goers. A couple other things. Security has tightened up, which I guess is a good thing. Too much security is, we like to be safe. But now it's like they kind of are using it as a front. They're saying, don't bring your, women have to bring little tiny bags, and you can't bring, this. They don't want you bringing any food or any drinks because they want to control that, right? That's what they want you to buy there. So, of course, and now they're so worried about alcohol and this, but concert venues now, it's not just beer, it's hard alcohol you're getting there. So now audiences are getting more rowdy, people are complaining about that, people's obsessive use of the phone in their face, videotaping and taking pictures, just being obnoxious at a concert. And the whole experience is really getting annoying. I don't know if anybody has been to a concert lately, but these are all, you got to go out of your mind to get prices, to get tickets. Sometimes you can try to navigate it if you're savvy and maybe get some cheap tickets, whatever. Then, there's just so much at the end of the day that it costs to go to one of these events. And then you don't have a good time anyway, because like it says, you got rowdy people, drunk people, high people, doing drugs, doing alcohol, acting obnoxious with their phones. It's just, it's just not even enjoyable. And the artists are never as good in the venue as they are produced in a studio. The sound systems can only be so good at a 50,000 seat arena or theater, right? If I was doing the Steve Square show at Madison Square Garden, it wouldn't be as intimate as it is here. I would still deliver the goods, don't get me wrong. I could perform in front of 20,000 people just like I could perform in front of you. But, but maybe the sound won't be as good. Who knows? Oh. I have to do this before I leave you. So, you like comedy. It's on your bucket list. You have a dream. You want to do stand-up comedy. So where would you go? You talk to me. You talk to Governor's Comedy Club. Because that's right. Governor's Comedy Club is offering stand-up comedy classes. And we talked about this before with Tony, but it's actually a story now. This is great. It's the stand-up. I thought Tony was a part of this, but Rich Walker and Peter Bales, I know one of the guys from here, from Governor's Comedy Club. They have comedy classes here. They got them going on over at Brokerage in Belmore, and they definitely do them at where I do the show, where we do the show here at Levittown. Now look, you can take all the classes you want. You can read textbooks on how to be funny. You can learn from the best. But you're not going to have that gift. That small, inner, improvisational gift that only a few of us enjoy. The greats. The Robin Williams, right? The Jim Carreys, all the greats. Funny Man Stevie K. There's only a few of us. But, here's a guy, Edward Paley of East Meadow. This is him performing, right? You've got a lot of people that have these dreams. They're teachers. They're, working in the railroad all day. And they have that dream. I want to get up on stage. Well, you do it here. Stand-Up University. I should have went there. Oh, man. They have a great football team. Let me tell you. Stand-Up University. Fantastic. Great football team. Governor's Comedy College. This is great. I wonder if I can get a scholarship here. Anyway, the cost to the university is $295 measly dollars. You can't even get in to a Taylor Swift show with $295. They'll laugh at you. They'll tell you, you know what, that'll cover parking. $295. The Governor's Comedy College classes are $300. $5 more, I'm not sure why. The university is $295. The college, well, because the university should always be more, right? The college is always cheaper. This is vice versa, yin and yang, opposite. But $295 or $300, either way, you're getting your money's worth here. It's great. It doesn't say. Oh, it says here. The next program will start on January 9th, just around the bend. And this is perfect for the new year. You have a goal, you have a dream, you have a wish. January 9th is where it can happen. You join, you enroll, however you do this. Look online, go to, you call up Brokerage, you can call up Governors right here, you call us. We'll tell you what to do. Don't call me, I don't have the answers. I just do the comedy. I don't administer it or teach it. I can't teach comedy. Some people can. These people can. They're professionals. I just have it. It just comes out. It oozes out of me. Like pus. So that's going to be great. That's the Governor's Comedy College in Levittown. Oh, it's an 8-week program. Right here, right in the other room. We're in the podcast radio studio. You'll be right in the other room, probably the giggle room. And you'll be doing stand-up. 8-week program. Okay. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, hey, why the long face? That's the kind of gold you're going to learn here. It's fantastic. I'm telling you. And this seems to be on everybody's mind because it's not just here. The library's doing a teen comedy class. They are really pushing for the next wave of comics. Maybe I think we're done with Sebastian Maniscalco. Now he's gotten me a little mad. I like Sebastian, but now doing this show with the bookie, yuck. Yuck, yuck, and yuck. It's terrible. Dear Carolyn, my husband and I have been going through a little bit of a rough patch. That's always a good start. We've been going through a little bit of a rough patch. And it ended that way. On Forensic Files. No. That would be Dateline. They were going through a bit of a rough patch. The patch ended. Don't skid on the patch. Anyway, my husband and I have been going through a rough patch. I found out from our daughter that my husband has been cheating on me. Oh boy. I asked him to move out. We've been in counseling. Counseling always helps. See, this goes back to the behavior. Why were you cheating with that 21-year-old Dallas Cowboy cheerleader model? I don't know. You know, I don't know what's inside of me, doctor. I'm not sure why I went with her. Anyway, we've been in counseling, and it took many months for him to stop blaming the cheating on me. He kept saying it was my fault. It is your fault. It's your fault. I can tell it's her fault because she's writing to Carol. This is ridiculous. Anyway, okay. Okay. It says here, she says I was emasculating him by working through the pandemic while he had his hours cut. And basically hanging out with our 22-year-old hot ex-nanny. It's always the nanny. Ask Arnold. Oh no, she was unbelievable. She was fantastic. She cleaned, she cooked, and I just fell in love. I don't know. I didn't know she was going to have my other son. He even made fun that I got stress over the affair. This year he finally started owning up to his behavior, blah, blah, blah. I kept assuring him, so they got back together. But the daughter confessed to her mom that one weekend when her father had her, he called her a snitch and said the separation was all her fault. And said, I told you I wasn't cheating on your mom. She was teaching me how to fold sheets and clothes. You have to be naked to do that. Why don't you understand what's going on here? I'm heartbroken and torn between trying to work through this new revelation and calling it the last straw. Well, am I overreacting? The both of you deserve each other. You just do. You just do. I'm sorry. You do. Unfortunately, you do. I want to end with something better. I want to end something more upbeat. Not something like that. Let's find something. It took about 30 million hours for Stonehenge to be built. You know Stonehenge? It says it right on the cover. 30 million hours. Now, let me figure out the math. If you're making even minimum wage, that's a good take for a day's work. I don't know what they were getting paid back then. But if you figure 30 million hours at, what do you make it, $17.50 an hour? Is that minimum wage? I don't know what minimum wage is, but that's a pretty good week's work. Or however many days. I'm not really good with the math there. But this is a great book. There is no desire more natural than the desire for knowledge. We all crave it. You have to, every day you should learn something new. Jack LaLanne says it. As you know, I'm a big advocate of Jack. Arnold says it. Be useful. Jack always talks about it. You know, better yourself every day. When you smile, you're using 46 muscles in the human face. When you frown, you're using less, 17 to 20. So it's only natural to want to smile. 46 muscles. Remember that. And remember that quote. No desire more than the desire to learn knowledge. It's a great, powerful tool. And that I will leave you with at 7:30, right on the button. I'm on point today. I'm trying to be more. That's going to be my New Year's resolution. Be more efficient. Get more done. No procrastination. In and out. Let's go. Next week is Christmas. When I see you, and we'll be doing a show. Don't know where, from where. Probably with my family. We're going to do it. I think I'm going to have some of my, who knows? We might have some surprises for you next week. I'll tell you one thing I can guarantee you, Steve won't be with me for the holidays. He's in some kind of incubation. No. But I will wish you all happy holidays. Of course, next Monday, because it's going to be that day. But this week, I wish you all happy holidays. Enjoy, be safe out there. It's crazy out there. It's scary out there. You're racing around. Don't race. Take your time. It's dark outside. Take an extra minute. You might save smashing into the side of my car. Don't race through that yellow light. Don't try to get into that last parking space and crash into somebody. Take your time. Don't worry. You'll get there. I promise you, you'll get there. The same crappy gifts will be in that store whether you race or not. The same long line. You're not getting ahead of anybody. Nothing's happening. So understand this is what it is. Take a big deep breath. Declutter. You know what I want you to do? This is what I want you to do. Let me see what I don't know what I want you to do. There it is. You see this? The brain here? I want all of these crossed out. I want you to have a clear mind. Cross all of that noise out. Get rid of the noise and take a moment for yourself. That's my advice. Again, happy holidays. We'll see you next week. Don't forget, you still got some last minute time to donate. The boxes are still out there. Donate some toys for tots. It's always a great thing. Do something like that. You'll feel great. I guarantee you. For myself, Funny Man CVK, graduate, honoree, cum laude. It's not even a thing. It's summa cum laude. Cum laude. The radio's too laude of the comedy circuit. Have a wonderful week. Tune into all the Gov's radio comedy shows, especially the Steve Square Show. Let's be honest. That's the one you want to lock into. Anyway, have a wonderful holiday week, and we will see you next Monday on the big day. The big day, the big day. That's Santa's big scene, Christmas Day. So don't be naughty.